Welcome back here, 2014 PSP Chicago Open, and we are about to watch an important game between San Antonio X Factor and upTon 187 Crew. Reason why this is important: X Factor sits 1 and 2, so must-win situation for them right now to avoid having to play in a relegation game. upTon 187 Crew, they're 0-3, so thus assuring pretty much they're gonna have to play in another relegation game. They won their game against, I believe it was Infamous, Todd. Was it Infamous? Yeah, you guys knocked out our Chaos. They beat Infamous. So here we go on the breakout. Looking at Billy Bernaccia from San Antonio X Factor getting shot, trying to get into Snake 1, but also 2 players dropping for upTon 187 Crew. Lose Dan Zaleski trying to get out on the Snake side as well. Another body dropping for X Factor though, so now it's 3-on-3.
Oh, and there goes another 187 player out of the Snake side can. Mantoni getting shot out of that Dorito 1. Here comes Archie Montemayor running down the field. He's going to close out that game. And man, what a last game there by San Antonio X Factor to get that win and help their cause in this event. You know, X Factor playing Crew right now. Dynasty Damage, the last game here. And man, this could get interesting depending on how.
It already is interesting.
Well, I mean, Dynasty is 2-1 plus 9. Damage is 2-1 plus 7. Heat is 3-1 plus 9. X Factor is 1-2 minus 6. So, I mean, obviously, 187 Crew is pretty much out of it altogether right now. So,
yeah. So
I'm just going to leave this up to you, Todd, because you're really good at this. I'm just going to sit back and let you talk.
Well, Damage. I mean, if Damage loses, I mean, it's going to come down to this Dynasty Damage game, because one of those teams is going to end up 2-2. So if it's Dynasty, if X Factor wins, you know, let's say X Factor wins, then Dynasty X Factor, they'll both be 2-2. So the head-to-head, X Factor would have to play for relegation. If Damage wins, or if Dynasty wins, then Damage and X Factor would both be 2-2. And then the heads-up, the head-to-head for that would also go to. Or no, the head-to-head for that would go to Damage.
Yeah, so...
Well, I'm sorry, X Factor.
Yeah, so we're going to crunch the numbers up here. Yeah, Euclid, figure it out for us, and we'll be right back after this. So that first point went to San Antonio X Factor. Let's see if upTon 187 Crew can get it together here. Show us some of that fight we know lives inside them. I've seen it before. Big move, max trailer, all the way to Snake 1 off the break. X Factor looks like they're 5 alive.
Oof.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, Derula got shot coming in, secondarying into that spot.
Then he was their penalty magnet in the last event, or the last turn of game. And then right now, San Antonio X Factor in the Snake. Michael Kovar trying to get a shot on Dan Zaleski.
Grayson Goff taking a walk in the far side of the field and the Dorito side for X Factor, but Josh Pike and Matthew Drew both taking the walk for 187 Crew. So 3-on-4 right now. Michael Kovar on your screen, looking to go get him. Good move right there, taken out. That's not Cole Roberts. Nick Roberts. That was Nick Roberts that was up in there.
Oh, so Nick Roberts getting a spin. And, yeah, Nick Roberts hasn't played a lot of points but was in a good field position. But Kovar was like, no, sorry, kid. This is my Snake. And Meter Niños is finishing it up with Archie Montemayor, who's continuing to be the rock for San Antonio X Factor. 4 confirmed for Archie. And X Factor looking pretty solid right here. So, Todd, continue to break this down for us here.
Okay, so without fumbling all over myself, this is how it's going to go. Okay, so because X Factor beat Damage earlier today, if X Factor wins this game against Crew, if Dynasty beats Damage, Dynasty is in, and then
into Sunday. or into the semis.
Yeah, Dynasty will be in the semis, and then that means the head-to-head will be between X Factor and Damage. And since X Factor beat Damage, Damage will be playing for relegation. X Factor won't play on Sunday. If Damage beats Dynasty, Dynasty will be 2-2 along with X Factor, and because Dynasty beat X Factor in the head-to-head, then X Factor will play for relegation. Dynasty won't play on Sunday.
There it is. So let's look at the game. Thank you, Todd. That's why we got you up here, brother. Let's look at the game matchup here. San Antonio X Factor and Upton 187 Crew. Got to give the advantage to the current world champs. Though they haven't had the year they wanted to, they're not playing bad. They're just getting kind of slow starts. They've had some awesome, dynamic, dramatic come-from-behind victories. But, you know, right now, Upton won it. But they're 1-2 right now, sitting currently. So very important game for them. And Upton 187 Crew not having a good event. Penalty-ridden match they played this morning. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly down on the sidelines.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm here with Nick Roberts in the 187 pit. Now, it's been a rough weekend for you guys. You haven't been able to win a match. You're down 2 points now, but you have plenty of time on the clock to get some points. How was team morale coming into this final match in prelims?
Well, obviously we had a rough day yesterday. We went 7-0, 7-1, so that's brutal. But we think we were kind of misplaying the field a little bit. We weren't attacking as much on the snake side, so we've decided to switch things up, go hard on the snake, and that's really what's been effective for everybody. So.
All right, we'll see if they can put some pressure on that snake side to get some points. Back to you.
Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Must attack the snake side. This is a snake-heavy field. You're not going to be able to lock and zone up anything here. It's about who is going to be playing the snake the best, and then also who can push up that D side when those guns shift. That option is available. So right now on the break, looks like one body dropping for San Antonio X Factor, but they're first to attack on the snake. So even though X Factor or 187 knows what they need to do, X Factor still beating them to the punch over here on this snake side.
Well, X Factor's playing a lot better than they did yesterday, in my opinion. They got a little more together. They got more of their players in, like we had discussed before, Maddie.
Yes.
You know, and I'd really, they're coming. They're back where they should be now.
Well, X Factor proved, Chris, sorry to interrupt, but with that win at World Cup, they proved that they're a favorite at every event now. So we're just kind of waiting for them to fulfill their potential again.
Oh, and look at that move. That's a major penalty on 187. He came around right into Dixon Yang's gun and just got blown to pieces. He put out Billy in the process, though.
Man, that was a bang play right there.
You know, I don't think he actually knew that Billy had somebody behind him because he got the drop on Billy for sure.
Yeah, but, I mean, the guy's one knuckle away from you. He came around with the opposite one-handed lander.
One-handed gotcha land.
Yeah.
Kentucky one-hander.
Score now, you know, X Factor going up one more point, 3-0 against 187, and 187 be stuck with a major penalty. 2014 Chicago PSP.
Check out this PSP bunker. Here's the replay. Right on the other side, here comes in. It's going to crawl right around, and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah, one-handed with the barrel roll. And then
that was a good call.
Major.
As soon as he put his hand down to come around that spot, he got shot in the arm. So that was a good call by the judge. And Dixon just working it.
Yeah, looking at the pits right now at a fired up. Look at that's Max Trailer right there bumping his boys up. But this is what I like about 187. That team's got heart, man. You can't teach heart. You can't teach it. It's either in you or it ain't. And 187 definitely has it. So it's just gonna be a matter of time, man. It's tough here in the Champions League, but so we're gonna be right back. Can Upton 187 Crew start putting points on the board? Score 3-0. See you in a second.
Being confident on the field is key in being successful. Every snapshot, every lane, every gun battle, it all matters. Having equipment that allows me to play confident in the best of my abilities is huge. The spacing and texture of the Vanquish grips are ideal for handling in every situation. It's a soft shooting, hit every shot you take kind of marker. My name is Drew Templeton. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
So we are back here, split screen breakout, X Factor on your right now, and look, Upton 187 Crew on your left. And first to strike here, looks like actually nobody's dropping, but still one in the box for Upton 187 Crew. So X Factor on that power play. And here comes X Factor into the snake.
And Kovar going to get into snake 3. Colt Roberts dies behind him, coming into the temple. And Now Darula going to come into the snake 1, snake 2, snake 3. Kovar going to jump into the 50. Darula going to gun up right in front of him. He's going to have to deal with Ninos in the corner, but Ninos is going to come out. Oh, I'm sorry, is that Grayson Goff now over here on the... No, that's Ninos. He's going to come into the back of snake 1. Look across the field. We got Skimp and Grayson Goff over there on the Dorito side.
Snake battle matching up here. Upton better field position.
Nice shot.
X Factor better field position.
Good job right there by Ninos.
That was a great shot on Matt Darula. And also another one going down in the far side of field. That's number 22, Thomas Mantoni, Matty. So not looking good right now for 187, Max Trailer or Dan Zaleski.
Yeah, X Factor playing loose, playing strong though. Got this massive lead here, 3 points, that 3-point spread. You don't want to find yourself in that position. The stats on people coming back from down 3 is it's not good. An Upton 187 crew. Just I like the program though, man, and both these these teams here. X Factor, different stories obviously, but very similar kind of stories. Both homegrown talents. X Factor has had pretty much the same guys for the past 8 years, and with Upton 187 crew, the road's long to become a championship caliber team. It took X Factor a long time to finally win that World Cup, and so Upton 187 crew. But talking to those guys, they know that they understand how long the road is, and they're willing to grind. Finally got some good practices in against some other pro teams. So, yeah, they just got the heart. The heart is there, and the mentality and understanding of what is in front of them is there. But they need to stop getting penalties and start executing. But at least, it was good for them, Todd, to figure out exactly what they needed to do heading into the second day of this competition. We're not attacking the snake. Got to attack the snake. We're going to be right back after this.
Let me use Al.
So we're back here. This game brought to you by Empire Paintball, big supporter of the PSP and the sport, and makers of awesome paint, K-Action Sports. So here we go. On the breakout, looks like no one dropping from either team yet. And first to get into the snake again is San Antonio X Factor's Billy Bernaccia. Gets to the 50-yard line. Here comes Archie Montemayor getting up to the center. Very rare move at this event. We haven't really seen that center play too much. But X Factor giving it a shot here as they're up 4-0, Chris.
Losing 3 bodies real quick, X Factor, but here Billy Bernaccia getting clipped across the field, but it's a little too late. Here comes X Factor with the full court push, Todd.
Yeah, X Factor just putting it on 187 right now.
Yeah, it looks like Mikhail Kovar is limping a little bit with that ankle injury.
Well, yeah, Mikhail, he's been battling that injury this entire event so far. Him and Billy Bernaccia with that broken wrist that Billy has. But they know it's at stake, man. They want to win. That this team wants. They want to feel that vibe that they felt at World Cup, and they know they can do it. They've done it already. They've been there before. They climbed the mountain. They know the way. So hats off to them for gutting through those injuries. And with this snake-heavy layout, you have to have guys like Billy Bernaccia on the field. And it looks like
I just see flags flying
a pit penalty on Upton 187 crew. Their pod guy decided to come out before the game was over. So, just little mistakes, man. Got to cut the mistakes to have a chance.
Especially when it's a pit guy. God, I mean, it's those mental mistakes that, when you're down by 4 points, you know, you start not thinking correct, or you start, you know, think about things other than what your mind should be on, and that's the game, and just play point by point, like you said, Rusty had said before. Play every point like it's your first and your last. You know, it's what you got to do. So.
Yeah, so 13:54 left to go, and it's another really tough one here for upTon 187 crew. Looking like they're going to be playing in those relegation games Sunday morning, tomorrow morning. And X Factor looking like they're going to cruise to a victory, and they're going to cruise to a victory, Todd, with a really high point margin, too, depending on how things shake out here. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly down in the pits.
Way up.
Hey guys, I'm here with Billy Bernaccia on the sidelines. You guys have a huge lead right now. 187's had a really hard time being successful this weekend on this layout. What do you think their biggest issues are?
I think they're not really playing their game. Normally they're a fast, aggressive team. It seems like they're trying to sit back a little more, and that doesn't work for teams like them. It also doesn't work for teams like us, and that's why we struggled last event. So, I mean, we're playing aggressive, and it's working out for us this match.
It seems like they're struggling a bit on the snake side, getting that solid push down the field. Do you think that's one of the biggest factors this weekend, is having that solid snake position locked down?
Yeah, definitely. The snake is really clutch over there. I mean, I'm going there pretty much every game off the break if I can make it. Had a tough time against damage, but you know, our percentages overall are pretty good, so we're going to keep trying for it because we know it's a high risk and a high reward. So.
All right, X Factor is up 5-0 against 187 right now. We'll see if 187 can get any points on the board.
Yeah, and you can see that massive brace that's on Billy's right hand. And if you're going to break your wrist and you got to play the game, that's the last. That's not the one you want to break.
No kidding.
But he's gotten through it. So here we go. Looks like getting chopped up off the break. Snake side and in the center. upTon 187 crew really struggling here, and looks like Colt Roberts all the way up in the center, so 2 points in a row. X Factor's trying that center out, but it definitely helps when you're not looking at a lot of bodies. And also when you blow apart the guys going up the snake. And here comes, looks like Meter. Yeah, so Ninos all the way onto 187's side.
Yeah, and Colt Roberts coming through the middle right now. He's going hunting in that corner. So X Factor, by winning that game earlier against Damage, giving themselves an opportunity to stay in this tournament.
Yeah, X Factor looking really good right now.
They are.
It's just tough, though, because honestly, everyone that's been playing 187 has been putting up a lot of points. Except for that Heat game, I mean, 7-3. Heat won both their games 7-3. They won 7-3 against cRew, and then they won 7-3 against Dynasty.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you know, look,
solid ball.
6-0 right now is it's no joke. I mean, it's unfortunate for those guys, but I mean, when it gets to the point of this, I mean, it looks like all the gas is out of those guys' sail right now. So 6-0 in favor of X Factor 187 crew. In a must-win situation, it does not look like it's going to happen right now.
They make sails that take gasoline now, Chris? Why didn't you tell me this before?
I don't know, man.
I was about to buy one, but they were too expensive.
I couldn't afford it.
Why are you giving me that look?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what to do right now.
So let's check out this replay here. So on the replay, looking at another X Factor bunker move. And I think that was Colt Roberts who had launched from the center. So, yeah, Colt Roberts, man. You know, you don't want to give Colt Roberts an inch, man. Colt Roberts, if you want somebody who's hungry for blood out there, it's Colt Roberts. He's just always looking for that bunker move.
Yep.
For that run-through. He's a highly aggressive player.
He got shot in the back of the head
by his own guy.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, man, 187 crew just not looking good right now. I mean, again, they're going to be playing in that relegation game, it's looking like, just like last tournament when they took out and sent Infamous down to the bottom. That's how Infamous is in the Challenge Division right now from the last tournament. I wasn't actually personally there, but I heard stories. I watched the Paintball Access webcast from home, actually. I'm not going to lie.
That's why it exists. So you get to see all the awesome players.
I'm telling you.
And all this crazy drama, man. I mean, you know, speaking of drama, this next game coming at you after this blowout is going to be Dynasty and Damage. Both those teams, 1-1. Todd was breaking it down. It's a crucial, you know, it's basically the tournament's on the line in the prelims in their last game. But that's what it's like.
It's win and you're in Sunday for both teams.
Wow. So that's what's at stake coming at you next here after most likely another X Factor point here, unless we see something different than we've seen all event from upTon 187 crew. We'll be right back after this. Man, we need to upgrade, Todd. We need to upgrade Grayson Goff's Pro Patch. That thing needs to be gold with the star on it after the World Cup win.
Yep.
Seriously.
Well, I mean, they're playing pretty stellar right now, so I mean, you can't complain too much.
You can borrow mine.
Yeah.
Mine's just sitting at home on my shelf.
I got 2. One of them's still in my my chest of drawers, making sure I never lose it.
It's actually leaning up against the picture of you that I have in my office that I gaze into when I need inspiration.
When I'm like 15.
You still had a beard at 15.
Scraggly goatee at that point.
Yeah.
So here we go. Can Upton 187 Crew turn it around? They do have time, but it's probably not going to happen. Upton 187 Crew down by 6, 12:44 to go. And here comes Upton 187 Crew loading up on the snake side. 3 players over here. They lose a body on that D side, though.
They lost both players over there, Matty. So now they're 3 players all stuck over here.
X Factor in the snake. They don't really need to do anything. All they need to do is just kind of kick it in their bunkers and shoot some lanes, and just stop 187 when they have to push forward. 187 has to push forward. They have no other option, even also just for personal pride. I'd rather end my tournament trying to run somebody down and getting put into the ground than dying out of my bunker.
Yeah, no, without question. If I'm going down, and you're coming with me. And it's going to hurt.
Grayson Goff talking about putting somebody into the ground. Grayson Goff just put Max Trailer into the ground to put the
exclamation point.
Yeah, exclamation point on this game. And so a successful day here for X Factor as they beat Damage 5-4 in a close one. And then they come out and just completely womp on 187 Crew to make them 0-4.
0-4 and minus 24 out of a possible 28 points. So, I mean, it's very disappointing, I'm sure, for those guys. X Factor to be 2-2, and they're going to come out plus on the plus side, though, +1, because they were -6 going into this game. But now, because they 7-womped these guys.
And for everyone out there that's listening, there's more in 187 Crew's tank. We've seen it before, so don't. If you're a fan out there, don't hang your head too low. They just had a bad showing here at this event. I really don't feel that. I think it took them too long to figure out this layout. I think it took them too long to figure out that you have to, look aggressively push down the snake side of the field. They have the weapons to do that. So they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But they're gonna play tomorrow morning in one of those relegation games. We're just gonna have to see who they're gonna play. That's always the story, and we'll find that out here this afternoon as those games go down. But before we do that, man, the game that's going to decide the fate for Dynasty and Damage is coming up next. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly before we take a quick break.
Hey guys, I'm standing here with Colt Roberts of X Factor. You guys just beat 187 7-0. You know you needed that point spread going into today. Did you think it was going to be possible to get it against 187, knowing that they've been having a tough weekend?
Yeah, they haven't been playing very good this event, but last time we played them, they really beat the brakes off of us. So we know they're a good team, and we had to come out and play our best.
Obviously, yesterday was a tougher day for you guys. You didn't win any of your matches, but today was much more successful. You had a much more solid performance. What changes did you make, and what made the biggest difference?
We just had a lot of mental errors yesterday. We missed a couple flights. Some of our guys didn't make it in on time, and we just kind of let it affect us. We didn't get into a rhythm, and we just didn't play too well.
What exactly are those mental errors that can really affect how you play on the field?
You got, especially on this field, you really got to get in your bunkers tight. And especially me, I was playing kind of sloppy and getting dinked out, and that's really what happened. We just kind of got dinked out across field all day and ran into guns. So.
I've talked to a couple guys about this. Any team in this champions bracket can really get to Sunday and take the win. They're all excellent teams. They have weapons on each of their teams. What do you think really differentiates between the successful ones and the unsuccessful ones here in Chicago?
Well, it's just playing tight and always firing on all cylinders. That's what it takes to win these events. You got to have 10 guys playing strong, not 5.
All right, well, next up we have Dynasty versus Damage. They both need that win. Who do you think is going to take it?
Well, I hope Dynasty, because that keeps us out of relegation.
All right, we'll see if he's right. Stay tuned. We've got Dynasty versus Damage coming up.
Yeah, so Colt Roberts, Todd, they already knew what was facing him. So not surprising. Colt Roberts already did the math over there with Ryan Brand, I'm sure. And their awesome owner, one of the best in the business, Alex Martinez. Love Alex Martinez. So here's the schedule for the rest of the day. We saw the games play out this morning. Heat taking down 187, Crew 7-3, and Damage losing to San Antonio X Factor. And then Dynasty losing their first prelim match of the year against a resurgent Houston Heat. Looking awesome going 3-1. San Antonio X Factor completely decimating upTon 187 crew. Next up, Dynasty and Damage, and then we'll head into a couple Challengers games to start the afternoon bracket. Chattanooga CP and the new team to the league, Baltimore Revo, charging up past couple years, has been doing great in the divisional ranks and earning the right to get bumped up once Storm had to bow out. And then VCK and Thunder, and then Vicious and Moscow Legion start off the champions bracket in the afternoon. We're going to see who's going to be playing tomorrow, so stick around. We'll be right back.